got, technically it's not a replacement pump, but it's more of a second pump. We'll call it a spare, to replace the previous full system pump I've got. So, wow. Pretty tight in the box. DCP 18,000. I've got the 15 in my system, so I'm going to compare these two side by side and take a look at those. But the the head rating on this is slightly higher. It's still 24 volt DC. Just, I don't know, 10 bucks more or something if I'm going to spend the money to get a spare. Having a spare that has slightly more capacity, it's not a bad idea. Overwrap is painful. All right, in terms of the system, I'm sure it's exactly the same as to how it sets up and all the rest of that. Again, I showed this last time. Maybe this is useful again to folks. It's a table that shows the different pumps that they offer. The DCP 20,000 is a 36 volt. Actually, you know what? They're saying the 18 is a 36 volt too. We'll check that in a moment here. It's not what I read on the online, so perhaps I've got something that's not compatible in terms of the power supplies, and I've screwed up. I am interested in getting more power either way. Yeah, so this actually says DCP 18 on it. Yeah, it's just a sticker though, is my guess. Well, we'll have to see. Power supply. The important part is the power supply, right? Oh yeah. Alright, for anybody who can see this, boy, I thought for sure I was in the 24 volt range. No, this is a 36 volt pump. Alright, so I cannot just swap the power or the connection cord onto my old cord. I'm still going to plug this thing and get it going because I think it's going to give me a little bit more power, a little bit more water flow. So in terms of the pump itself, looks like it's pretty much the same form factor as my previous one. Inlet with a basket connected to it. That's fine. On the outlet side, they've got a number of different sleeves that set down on top of this threaded coupler with a just a piece that cinches down over the top of that. So I can plumb this up for 1.5 inches and connect it straight in with my coupling that's already there. So that's what I've got. They give you hose connects, but I'm not gonna connect soft. I'm gonna hard plumb this. Okay, I've got a quick update here. Just wanted to take the chance to compare these two side by side. They look nearly identical in terms of the housing sizes, the cooling fins, the connection mechanisms. Everything looks exactly the same. Looks almost like two different stickers on the exact same pump. Makes you wonder if just overdriving the 24 volt one with 36 volts would be a way to make it a quick, but I'm not doing that. So the good news is, from a plumbing perspective, these guys are pretty much identical, and I've got two equal height connections off of here. I can play here and I can play there and sort of get it in. What I didn't have now, because I'm 36 volts and 24 volts, instead of actually removing the old connector, I've just mounted the two of them side by side. So I will literally have a spare here ready to go. If for some reason the 18K fails on me, we just need to reconnect the power cord to the 15, swap it in here, and I've got a legit spare. So it really is a spare from that perspective, and I'm pretty happy to say that I've got it set up that way. Redundancy is a good thing, I think, in life. Well, not in life, whatever, but certainly in a fish tank world. So I'm installed, currently running 53%, as opposed to, I was running 90% on this before. I have not adjusted any of the other settings, and you can see, that's a crappy view. You can see I've just barely got a trickle of water coming here from this overflow. So it's a little bit here and there. So that's about exactly where I was running before. So 53% Corona, if you believe the meter, 66 watts. I was high 90s running at 90% on the DCP 15. So the 18, yeah, it's clearly a beefier pump. It is clearly pushing a lot more water at lower wattage, which is interesting. For anybody who's thinking, do I want to go with the bigger pump or not? Yeah, I don't see a reason not to. It's exactly the same size. Exactly the same size. And pushing the same amount of water at, we'll call it 30% less power. Sounds like a win to me.
Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, or subscribe if you'd like to see more in this series.